In this video, we will be covering strings with Python. We will be using REPL.it, which will allow us to run some Python code without having to manually configure anything. So I'm going to start off by just initializing a string. Now there's no need to declare a data type ahead of time in Python. We just initialize our variable, and a string is going to be enclosed with double quotes or single quotes, just as long as you have something wrapped in quotes. And to view this in the terminal on the right, we're just going to go ahead and print it using the print function. And Command or Control Enter will print the statement and execute all the code that is in the code block on the left. And as you can see in the terminal, it just simply print it out, take me out to the ball game. And we're also going to set some more variables. And we can also use single quotes. And then if we want to concatenate these together, we can use the plus operator. So I'm going to create a new variable, full name. And what I'm going to do is add a blank character, an empty space. So we'll just encapsulate a space in between two quotes. And Command Enter to run, Command or Control Enter. And we've printed out the Frank Thomas's full name. Another thing we could do, there are a lot of different string methods that we could apply to this. Let's say we want to break our statement out into different words. We can go ahead and do that. We'll set a words variable here. And statement dot, we're going to split by the space character. So if I go ahead and print words, I'm going to get a list of words. As you can see on the right, what we have now is a list. Every word is broken out. And that's what we split the entire sentence by. And the way we can also loop through this list. So we will be going into lists in a different video. But for now, we're going to go for word in words. And then we're going to print each individual word. And now every list is just broken out onto a new line, every word from the list. And let's say we wanted a slug for a URL. What we can do now, what we're going to do is combine those back together by a hyphen. And let's say we wanted to make that a title of a blog post or something. All we would have to do is concatenate it by a hyphen. So we're going to join each word by a hyphen. So we just need to pass our words list in here. And then if we go ahead and print the slug, as you can see on the right, now we have take me out to the ball game, all hyphenated. Next, we will go into string interpolation. There are multiple ways in Python in which to format strings. So I'm going to go into several different ways here. So continuing from the previous code that we have, we're just going to initialize a new variable of position. And we're going to set that to first base. And let's just create a new sentence. Now the first method we're going to use is the string template method. F name, and then L name. And then we're going to put our new position variable in here. Now, as you can see, it's for every one of these placeholders, it's substituted the actual variable. And we can see on the right, Frank Thomas played first base. So we could also use the string.format method. Let's just create a new string here. So we're going to use these placeholders of just the curly braces, played, another curly brace, and then we're going to use the string. So we have a string inside the print method here. So we're going to add the format method to the string. F name, So obviously we have 3 placeholders. Now we need to have 3 variables to put those in. And Command or Control Enter to run that, and we get the same sentence, but it's just a different way of doing string interpolation. Now we can also use the % formatting, which is very common amongst other programming languages. That works in Python also. So I'm going to go ahead and print another statement. And now we're going to use, since we're printing strings, we're going to use %s for all of these. Now what we're going to need after the string, after we closing quotes for the string, another %sign. And we are going to put our variables in here just like the previous line. And Command or Control Enter to run, and we can see that once again we get the same sentence, Frank Thomas played first base. The next thing that we will be covering are the most common string methods. And as you recall, the sentence from above is Frank Thomas played first base. Let's say we moved him from first base to third base. All we have to do is replace one word in the sentence, and we can use the string replace method. So I'm going to grab the sentence variable and set that to sentence.replace, replacing first with third. Command Enter to run. So now we have Frank Thomas played third base. And it's very important that we reset the variable. So if I run it just like this, it is going to just give me the same as what I had before. But if we set that variable and then run the replace method, then it will update. Now it's important to note that what's being replaced here. So if I consider this sentence, so we started off with the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Now we have the quick brown fox jumped over the quick dog. So let's go ahead and change quick to slow. And we're going to print sentence again. Now the important thing here is that it is global to the inside the variable. So every instance of quick is going to be replaced with slow. So let's just say we wanted to replace 1. If we want to just replace 1, we would have to pass the index value as the third parameter. I'm going to go ahead and comment these lines out. That way they will not run again. And when I hit Command Enter, which will rerun the entire script, we will be back to the previous sentence that we had, which was the quick brown fox jumped over the quick dog. So if I go ahead and print this sentence, actually I need to pass the index value. So we're going to pass a 1 into this third parameter of the replace. That is an optional parameter. So we got just the first instance. The first instance of quick was replaced with slow. So now we have the slow brown fox jumped over the quick dog. Now there are a few other very common methods that are used with strings. One of those is the length function. So if I wanted to grab the length of the sentence, we just need the len function and then pass in our variable, which is sentence. And we have 44 characters. We could also get the types of variables and change variable types. Let's consider a new variable for this. So Frank Thomas, he had 521 career home runs. So I'm going to create a new variable, career home runs. And then we could print, so if we have a variable, we need to know what the data type is. Obviously, we initialize it as an integer. Let's just go ahead and print So we can use the type function. And we have a class of integer, which is a built-in data type for Python. We can also change that to a string by just using the str method, str, and then pass in our career home runs variable. And if we go ahead and print that, we have a class of string, but we do have the same 521 as a string. The next method that we're going to go over is the index method. So we can find the index of any certain character or group of characters, a word, for instance. So I'm going to create I'm going to change sentence variable once again. And we're going to create a new variable called idx to just get the index of the word fox. Sentence.index. So we're going to go ahead and print the index. And so the word fox in our sentence starts at the 16th character. Actually, it would be the 17th character because it is zero base. So the first character in the string is the 0 element followed by 1, 2, 3, and so on. And the final method that we're going to go over is the slice method. So if I create a new variable called slice, and let's say I want the sentence, I want it up to the word fox. So we're going to pass in the index range. Being our index was 16, we're going to go ahead and do that. So this will slice off the first 17 characters of our string. We go ahead and print the slice. Now we have the quick brown. So it's important to note that the word fox is omitted because we are only taking the first 17 characters, which is the beginning of up to right before the beginning of the word fox. So what we'd have to do is add the length of the word fox if we wanted to just slice off the quick brown fox. We can certainly do that. Let's get the length. So first thing we need is the length of the word fox. So len. And then change our slice variable to. And once again, we are going to start with the first character, which is in the position 0, since it's a 0 base string. So now we have to change this. So we have to add to the number 16, which is our index, the length of the word fox. So we already have index as a variable. So we're just going to go idx plus, and we're going to add the length to that. So it's going to go 16 plus 3, which would be the 19th character. And then if we print our slice out once again, we now have the quick brown fox. In this video, we covered the very basics of using strings within Python. We went over initializing a string, string interpolation, and just some of the more common methods and functions that are associated with using strings. Thank you for watching.